Guys, I'm back with another one, and today I'm just going to be looking at obviously BTC like I always do. I'm going to be having a look at the funding rates, see where we're at with these. I'm going to have a bit looking at the Bitcoin spot ETF inflows. We're going to be looking at the liquidation heat map. We're going to be looking at the long to short ratio. We're also going to be looking at the daily exchange volume and how much that's gone up over the past 7 days. And then we're going to look at a few altcoins, see where we're at with the altcoins, see if it's time to get in or wait for the pullbacks. So yeah, let's get straight into it, guys. So at the minute, I'm just on the Bitcoin chart, on the weekly chart. We are at a very important level. We're in price discovery at the minute. That's my personal opinion. And always remember, none of this is financial advice. Just want to put that out there before we start. So if we have a look at this move that Bitcoin has done at the minute, is a 34% increase since the 4th of November. We're only on the 12th. That's 8 days it's done this move. We are at the minute well above the value area high. You know, I like to use my volume profiles. The main point of control, I will redo this. The main point of control is still down around near 67k. I'm not saying we're gonna drop there, but if we go back to prior cycles, like I have done previously, this drop here that we did have in Bitcoin from 73 back down to 49k, which I did tell people about at this area. Around 73 I started to cash out my spot buys, and then I started to allocate more into my spot buys at certain levels. I think it was about 64, 58, 54, 48. I had one around 48, which it never got tagged into, but I'm not too worried about that. So I'm doing the same again. I'm now starting to cash out at these areas because it's had another massive run. You know, the overall run that we've had in Bitcoin, say it starts here January 23rd, 2023, I mean, the increase in Bitcoin has been nearly a 500% increase. So if we go back to another cycle, March 20, and we take that again, that was a 1,700% increase. Then we had the correction, which was a 50% correction, and then from that 50% correction we did then increase again another 137%. So if we're looking at that again, and we've only had a smaller correction, which were around 33%, we've then pushed off again another 85% from the correction. Say we do have another correction, which I do think we will have. if we do have a correction into this area at around 64k, maybe 70 to 64k, that's another 30% correction, which does align with this. There's a possibility at the point of control, which is at around 67, 68k, where you could start to build another long. So say we do something like this again, start to have the correction, consolidate, and then push off. I don't think we're going to go much higher than around this area here, which is about 92, 93, 94 area. I did say the market top is going to be around between 80s and 90s. Like I say, this is my personal opinion on it. We could be looking at something like that for a correction and then push off again. I will slowly start to build another long spot position in this area, and then we'll go from there and see where we're at. But I will be cashing out round here. The only problem that I've got is that a lot of people, there's a lot of news coming out. Bitcoin's back in the news again. And what happened here around this area? Bitcoin were back in the news. We had a correction. Retail came back in here. Got absolutely fucked. Probably ended up cashing the loss out at around 50 odd K. For then big players to come back in. You were there, exit liquidity up here at 73k. You've then dropped all the way back down into here. You've been selling your bags. Big players have been buying your bags, buying your bags, buying your bags, buying your bags. Push back up. Another correction. Retail have got back in up here near 90k because the sausages, and they don't understand market cycles. Another correction all the way back down into here. They'll start to buy again. Buy, 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 buy. You're going to start selling, selling, selling in a loss. It's going to push again. You're going to do exactly the same. Most retail will. Buy again at the top. And then sell at the bottom. I did say once we do start dropping into a bear market, these areas around here, between 50 and 30, is where you want to start loading up again. It's going to be a while before it does it again. So in 2024, how long was this correction here? That was in November 21. 2-year correction. So it works out at about right. If it starts to pull back into these areas at around January 26. So say we do that. We have a little look where we've gone there. Back to around this area. About 61% correction. That was a 77% correction. If we do a 77% correction from there to there, it's about 25k. I don't think we'll push that far down. I'd say around about 60% correction at around 33k. Start to load again. And then we push off again. These are just cycles. I'm just using data that I can actually see. I'm not just jumping into a long or a short because I think, oh, it's going to come down. I don't think nothing. I'm using data to show me that this could be a top, this could be a bottom, and then we go from there. Let's have a little look at the funding rate. The funding rate at the minute is not too bad. Go to a 6-month. BTC funding rate, 87.6%. If we go back to the yearly, and we have a little look at around March this year. So if we're having a look at March this year, look at the funding rate, we're 107.2%. The funding rate's basically saying that it's, you know, the people that are using leverage, and generally what happens when the funding rate is this high, we got that correction around March. It's an easy one to use at the minute. Funding rate's at about 87.6%. Be very, very careful. Do not long the top. It's going to be a bad, bad move on your part. But you don't have to listen to me. If you want to long the top, long the top. I'm just telling you from my personal opinion, don't long the top. Wait. There's a coin that I've been looking at, and it's NIA. See, if you have a look at NIA, same again in March. If you go to NIA in March, where are we in March? March, right here. Price was at $9. NIA in March. Funding rate started to increase 108% again. At the minute, the funding rates are fairly low on altcoins. On BTC, the funding rate is slightly increasing. We're going to have a look at the ETF inflow. The inflows have been massive at the minute. 1.12 billion. In the ETFs, people are going to be wanting to cash out. Why wouldn't you? You'd be an absolute moron not to start cashing out when BTC's up here. You know, the inflow started to come in here. You could just see the outflow there. The outflow on minus 116 million. And the inflow has been 1.12 billion. And it started to increase here. Around 59k. 621 million. 1.36 billion. 292 million. And then we had a 1.12 billion inflow. If you just take a look, where are we here? This is in March again. You've got your inflows coming in. You've had your massive spike in the inflow. It's then started to slow down. This is when we've started to have the corrections. The inflows have started to slow right down. And then you had a load of outflows before we've gone sideways. The inflow's still not increased. We're still getting a lot of outflows. Generally, when you see your big spike of an outflow, it then pushed off again to 71k. The inflows wasn't massive, but if you look again here, you had the spike in the inflow again at around 70k before it did do this massive correction to around 57k. So I'd be very, very careful what you're actually doing. 53k. Look at the inflows. I know the inflows look very good at the minute, but what you've got to think is people are going to be wanting to cash some of their profits out. They're not going to sit and watch their profits decrease for an extra 1,000 BTC. You know, for the price to go up 1,000 to 91k. They're going to start cashing out. Liquidation heat map on the 3-day. This here is at 90k. You've got 90 million. People are starting to now build the short positions. All your liquidity is here. All the way back down. Let's open it up a little bit more. So there's a lot of liquidity lying down here. There's a few billion lying in this area between 70 and 75k. Keep your eye on that. This is where we could start seeing the correction. Like I say, where people are going to start to cash out. And if you don't think people are going to start cashing out, they are going to start cashing out. I've started cashing out. I'm not stupid. I don't care if it goes up 1 more thousand. I've already cashed out. Like I say, I started to build a position all the way down from 73 all the way down to the 50s. And now I'm up. Why would I not cash out after that move? It'd be very silly not to. You've got a lot of liquidity lying between 70 and 65k, like I say. All the way down from 75 to 65, there's a lot of liquidity. These markets are liquid markets. They want liquidity. And most of the time, retail are the exit liquidity. Don't be one of them people. Sorry, I needed to have a little drink then. So your long to short ratio, let's do a 24-hour one. It's still long in BTC. That's your long to short ratio at the minute. But this can change. This is all the exchanges here. You know, there's only one really that's the shorts higher than the longs, but it is looking equal. So I'd be very, very careful with what you're wanting to do. The screen is going to go really white now because I'm going on a chain exposed and there's no dark mode on that. So my apologies. The overheated zones here, we're not at that yet. If you have a little look, price is in the overheated zone, but the actual movement of the line still is not in the overheated zone. This generally shows you the market top, and at the minute we're not really there yet. But I still think we are going to have this correction down into the 70s where people's going to be sat holding a bag of dicks and they're going to be like, oh, why didn't I sell? Why didn't I sell? Instead of crying and thinking, oh, why didn't I sell? Just sell. Don't worry about if it goes to, you know, I don't even want to say the number. There's the number. Because every time I say the number, people are telling me that, oh, you said it, we're going to go at that. I never said it, we're going to go at that. I had a market top between the 80s and 90s. We are going to get a correction, and then we probably will go back up to try and push them 90s again, and then we will go into the bear market. So that's my take on BTC at the minute. We're not just going to take a shit. We're not just going to go bang all the way down. It's going to be a slow move down, a bit similar to this, a bit similar to this. But we are going to have a correction. There's no way we're just going to keep going all the way up. Right, let's do a few altcoins. Well, we'll first do Total 2. We'll have a little look at Total 2. That was my prediction on Total 2. We're either going to do this or we're going to do that. At the minute, we look like we're doing this. The upside. Push back down into here at about 1 trillion. And then push off. There'll be your market top. Like I said previously, trading can be so simple. USDT dominance. Another one. Pretty obvious. This is what I've said about USDT dominance. We're underneath this. Might consolidate, tag, and carry on down. BTC dominance on the weekly. This is what I was predicting in BTC dominance. If we get something like this, then yeah, altcoins are going to run really hard. Going to the daily a minute. Let's open up this up. The daily at the minute. This is my prediction. Drop down, push back up, drop down, push back up, and then drop down. So I would keep an eye on these levels, like I've told you previously. Others is now starting to take a little bit of a shit. You want to see it hold above this and then push off again. We don't want to see it fall back underneath. It may slightly drop back underneath and then go again. You know, we might do something like this and then start to pump off again. Keep an eye on that. Few altcoins. Let's have a little look. Like I say, we are going to have a correction. Don't just dive into a coin. Build your spot bags up. That's probably the best thing that you can do. Build your spot bags up and then wait for the opportunity to cash out. XRP seems to be having a really nice... XRP seems to lag behind everything. It's like nobody trusts XRP. To be honest, I don't trust XRP either. It's not really one coin that you want to look at. Look at the way it's moved in this area for however long it's been. XRP, not really one that you want to be getting involved in. But this area here, around 5 cents, possibly a long area. We've got Atom. Had a massive push up. It's not tagged any of these fair value gaps at the minute. Keep an eye on these fair value gaps. Could be a good long opportunity around $4.09, possibly $4.03 and $4.01. Keep an eye on them areas. We have broke out above this now though, where we were trending. You know, I want the trend to change as much as everybody else. We are in a very, very, as some people, I don't like to use the term, but we are in an overbought territory, as people would say. I don't really like to use that term. NIA, I was saying in a previous video, I never managed to publish the video because I had a few things going on. NIA, I did say that we are going to take that liquidity out around this area where there's a lot of volume, and we have taken out that liquidity. You want to see NIA get back above this area really. Bit of sideways action and push off again. Most of the liquidity is lying up here. Like I say, all you've got to do is have a little look at your funding rates. Are they starting to turn orange and red? They are slightly starting to turn orange on some of these coins, like PP. It's at 123% orange. It can stay like that for a very long time, as you can see here, all the way through March before it did take a shit. Be very, very careful. What's another? Go is another one. It's at 210%. Very, very, very heated at the minute. Very heated. So if we have a little look at Go, these are the areas to be watching. Go, because everybody's in a long at the minute. Then we go into the liquidation heat map. Click on Go. Have a little look at the liquidation heat map. We took out that there at this area. There's a little bit of liquidity lying up above. Nothing major. Most of the liquidity now is lying below. There's not a lot of liquidity though. Because it is a fairly new coin, liquidity won't start to build up. Like liquidity built up here. It tagged all that liquidity, then it did drop. Tagged into this liquidity, pushed off again. Liquidity started to build up, pushed off. That's how you can use the liquidation heat map. It's fairly easy. We'll have a little look at NIA. I'm also going to look at render, because they're two that I really want to do. I want to start building positions on them, on render and NIA, because I really do think they're going to run hard. You know, in NIA, you've got a lot of liquidity lying at around $5.08. If we go to the 3-month chart, I don't know why it won't let me have a little look at the yearly chart. Let me see if I can find a yearly chart. Now, for some reason, I can't see the yearly chart. But with Binance, it's only giving me a 3-month chart at the minute. Yeah, 3-month chart. NIA. I wish I could see more data, but I can't see any more data. But there's not a lot of liquidity. These liquidity lying below. I think most of the liquidity is lining up at around $9 in NIA. And like I say, I can't see that, so I can't really say. Render. It's the same with render, because render rebranded. Same again, I can't really see any more than what I can see. But at the minute, render has taken out a lot of liquidity there. We're probably going to have a retracement into these areas at around $6 and then push off again. I will get the render chart up. Where's render? Render. That was a trade that I wanted to take in render. I never managed to take the trade because I wanted to see a retracement into this area. It never retraced, so I never took the trade. I missed the first entry there, and that was on Sunday because I don't trade the weekend. So, you know, I've missed out on a fairly decent move. But I'm not afraid to tell people that I've missed out on this move. You know, if we can get this little retracement back into this area, and then we go off, then yeah, I will start to build this little position here. But if we're not going to get that retracement into there, I will build a position into spot, slowly start to allocate a little bit of money into render. Render on the daily, you know, you're looking at these areas up here around $13. That's what I'll be looking for. Keep an eye on it. Sui, I don't need to tell people what I was saying previously in Sui. I said your buy in Sui is around $1.06. $1.06. If anybody took that in Sui and you did buy it at $1.06, you're up 100%. I literally gave that call on this channel, told people to look at it, but I bet most people didn't take it. You know, he's looking at a chart and thinking, where could this possibly go? Also, using the volume profile, it dropped below the value area low. Great area to start building your positions in. Phantom. Another one, you know, the point of control is down here. Let me redo it, just to double check that it is down there. Now the point of control is up above where most volume is getting traded at the minute. There's your point of control. Started to trade below your value area low and then eventually pushed off. Sushi. Another one, point of control all the way back down there. This is Sushi Swap. Why has it not brought that up? You know, your point of controls do move with them where most volume starts to get traded. You know, like I've said, some of these coins are in good good areas to take your longs, or, you know, personally I won't be shorting at the minute in any of these altcoins. But like I say, that's my personal opinion. You can do what you want. I'm still going through all the data of the premium channels, and it's taking a very long time, so it could take me about a year to get through all this data before I start my new series. All I can say is I apologise it's taking me so long, but it is taking a very long time to get through this data. It's not going to happen overnight, and I've also got a busy life, and I've got other things to do as well. You know, like most of you know, I've got 5 kids, I've got a wife, and, you know, they come first. CAS, let me get this volume profile back in. CAS is pushing really nice. Area for longs, what around this area where most volume is. You know, like it's fairly easy to do. You get a box, you can see where it's previously started tagging all these areas. You know, have your box there where you want to start building a long or a short. You know, you've got another area here where it has previously done something very, very similar. You've got another box here. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll see it come up above this box though, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, I must go long. It's probably the wrong thing to do. Once it's coming up above that box, you're going to have a retracement, and then it's going to push off, and then you're going to have another retracement, and then it's going to push off, and then you're going to have another retracement, and then it's going to push off, another retracement, and then it's going to push off. You know, your longing area is probably round here on CAS. In this area here, which is going to tag the value area low. If we start to deviate below and then push off. So keep an eye on CAS. Most liquidity at the minute in most of these altcoins is lighting up here. And it's going to want to get that liquidity at some point. So keep an eye on these. A few altcoins I've done there for you. If you do want any altcoins, just send me a message in the chat. You know, I'd love to see plenty of people start messaging in the chat and just tell me what coins you want me to review. I'll review them on my next video. You know, like I say, I'm trying to build this YouTube channel for all of you guys. I'm not giving you no bullshit. I'm telling you how it is. Like most of these other sausages on Twitter and on YouTube, they're just bullshitting you. They don't give a shit if you make money or not. I want you to be successful. I'm happy if the next man is more successful than me. I don't care. I'm concentrating on me. If they're more successful than me, then congratulations, well done. You know, I really appreciate that you are more successful than me. But I will work on my own success. I want everybody to be happy, healthy, and make a lot of money in this market. It's a very hard market to make money in. But if you want to be safe, your spot areas are probably your safest ones to take trades on. So then you're not watching the chart 24/7. Like I've said previously, I've got links in the description of CWP for James and his Baccarat indicators. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. And that's it from me. And I will catch you in the next one, guys. Happy trading.